Hello and welcome to the Gaming Chronicles. Today we will begin Final Fantasy V, the Pixel Remaster. First released in Japan in 1992, this version was released in 2021, the most recent of all the Final Fantasy Vs. And it wasn't until 1997 that I believe it was even really known about in North America, at least on a large scale. And then in 1999, when the anthology release happened for the PlayStation 1, it just blew up from there. There were many players that found out that, hey, there's a Final Fantasy V, there's a Final Fantasy 3, there's a 2, because all this time we had thought that 4 was 2 and 6 was 3, and of course in 97, that's when Final Fantasy 7 came out, and so we were introduced to this wealth of Final Fantasy games that we had never known. So let's fire it up. Enough chit-chat about its history. We'll talk more about Final Fantasy V and its history and all of the different innovations that actually came out in Final Fantasy V or were a part of Final Fantasy V that we really didn't know that that's where they came about because of the big jump from 4 to 6, which we thought was just 2 to 3. But anyway, let's enjoy our opening cutscene here. This is, of course, the top of Castle Tycoon and its majestic towers. Its cozy little hearth fires going on. And while we're letting this unfold, oh, here's our Windrake, Hiryu, and King Tycoon. Oh, he is just adorable. And here comes Princess Lenna. It is Lenna, right? Lenna? 2 N's. Means it would be a short E sound, not a Lena. That would be one. I don't know. Names are hard. English is hard. And Lenna arguing for her father to stay or just not really wanting him to go. She kind of senses that something is up. But I cannot say the name. King Tycoon, he is very duty bound and he must go. And as he says, have faith. Little does he know just how heavy of a statement that is, right? Because we all know that we are about to embark on an epic journey and adventure filled with danger and peril, and which are basically the same thing. But anyway, off he flies on his Windrake to investigate the Wind Shrine. And I just want to say, before I forget to mention it, I really love the pixel art that is used and was used in the original Final Fantasy V version. After finding out about this game, right, I wanted to know everything there was to know about, well, what was the original version like, right? How was it? You know, obviously it did well in Japan, and so, you know, what was it all about? Anyway, the wind has stopped, and we know something's wrong. And here comes the king into the Wind Shrine to figure out what in blazes. Okay, let's talk about the translation for a second. I really appreciate the translation. That I believe this is the translation that, for the most part, was that came out in the 2006 release for like the GBA. And while I only played that version for a brief second, that was actually the first time that they had a like commissioned professional translation from when it was first fan translated until in 1997, or maybe there was another one, but like the fan translation held up as the best translation until 2006, when that new translation came about, and I think most of that is used in this game. There's Bartz, our wanderer. Here it comes down. Where's it gonna land? Where's it gonna land? Let's get out of here. So anyway, the pixel art. I love the sunshine rays like on the trees, and okay, let's make sure that my buttons are the way I want them to be. Let's see, open, close menu, back. Yep, that's how I want it. Okay, good. There, move around. Yeah, let's just make sure. Okay, yep, everything is the way I want it to be. I had played through this game somewhat, just to get a feel for it. Just want to make sure my controls hadn't gotten reset or anything like that. Okay, let's come investigate the meteorite. What on earth is this giant rock that fell from the sky? I mean, this, yeah, this pixel art, and I think that in the previous remasters as well, we've been enjoying this like pixel art style already. But this style of art didn't really come about, I don't think, until Final Fantasy V. Now, of course, we were when Final Fantasy VI came about, it was part of that game, and so when we saw Final Fantasy VI versus Final Fantasy IV, we thought, whoa, this is an amazing game. And now Final Fantasy VI is truly a masterpiece. And we just don't know that a lot of the things that made Final Fantasy VI amazing actually came about in Final Fantasy V. So anyway, here we have Lenna and Bartz introduced each other to themselves. Yep, we're going to do it. We're just going to leave his name as the default. We just go wherever the trail leads us. That's right. Just a wanderer, carefree, responsibility-free, just do whatever. He does carry a broadsword, though, so we know he has some skill with the blade. This rock suddenly fell from the sky. So how are you alive? Well, I don't know. She might have approached it from a long ways away, but I mean, this meteor, or the shockwave would have knocked you out. Yep, guess it's a meteorite. Of course, we're ignoring like what an actual meteorite would have done to the area around the area around it where it would have impacted. Especially if it were that size when it hit the ground, that would have caused a devastating damage. But we're ignoring science and physics because it's not a normal meteorite, as we know. I really have to go. Oh, you are so kind and polite, Lenna. Your father raised you well. Wait a minute. What? No. Hey, what's that sound? Alright, let's go over there where Bartz is pointing. Hey! Hey, what's the matter, man? You alright? How are you alive? Yep. Uh-oh. Amnesia, huh? Well, that's a shame. Galuf! Nope, just the name. You know, when I first played this, I thought that when he, wound it up with amnesia, that they were going to let you name him, but no, alas, only Bartz is the one that we can name. I have to go to the Wind Shrine. Oh, yeah. I think that's where I was going. Like, how do you know? That sounds familiar. But does it? Does it really? Okay. Feel it in my bones. Bartz is still feeling non-committal. One last lingering look, and thank you. Or so we think, right? It's never that simple. All right, we have control. All right, we're gonna go over here and get this chest here. Now, while I am a completionist, to some degree, I mean, I'm gonna try to get all chests and items just because it bothers me when there is a like when, you know, chests and items, if there's not 100% of them, I don't know. Call it my quirk. I think I've discussed this in multiple games that I've chronicled. But if it's not a huge effort to, like, you know, get 100% of the chests and items, especially when oops, it won't show there. But especially when you have a little indicator that you have this many chests or this many items to get, I usually kind of try to want to get those. Anyway, Boko bucked us off because, well, Boko might know something. Bart, you gotta be nice to your chocobo. Yeah, you tell him, Boko. With all the goblins around these parts. Yep. Yeah, go lend him a hand. Uh-oh. Sounds like they're in trouble. Alright, get on. Let's go, Bartz. Let's go, Boko. Alright, we have some fixed battles here to go through. Anyway, let's go back to, I guess what, as far as this, the chronicling of this game, what I'm aiming to accomplish is not like do 100% of all the things, not really. I do like to be pretty thorough-ish with Final Fantasy V and the jobs that I end up mastering. There will be probably a decent amount of grinding, ability point grinding off screen. Not a ton though. And that's about it. I think that will be anything off screen. It's just a little bit of ability point grinding, maybe some experience points grinding. I'm not sure, depending on how our levels end up when we get to certain points in the game. All right, more cutscenes, and more cutscenes. The length of cutscenes was definitely something that, or the lengthening of cutscenes was definitely something that Final Fantasy took on. And I'm not sure if it was considered like a risk back then to lengthen the cutscenes, because some of the cutscenes where, you know, we don't have control are pretty long, like right here, talking about, oh, the road's blocked. And then they have to have these conversations about, well, what do we do next? Where are we going to go? This is how Bartz, of course, decides to join the party, and they all go together. So anyway, there's these long conversations that, if we go back to Final Fantasy IV, really the only long cutscene that I can remember was the final cutscene of the game after you've beaten, was it Zeramus? I can't even remember the boss's name. Oh, and Bartz is being so kind. Here's this wind. Here's this line. The wind is calling me. Kind of cheesy, but it's you know, cute and gentlemanly at the same time. And then Galuf, you know, he's laying there. He's got one eye open the whole time. He's just watching us talk. Have the hots for the little lady, and Bartz is embarrassed. What? Oh. Yep, that means things are going to be a little bit more difficult to get to the Wind Shrine. But anyway, we'll get to that thought later that I was about to say. Oh no, we're discouraged now. And Lenna looks far away. I won't give up. And now we have inspiring music. Oh, there must be a way. We'll find it. All right. Yeah, everybody get on the back of Boko. I mean, can chocobos really take that many people? I mean, granted, this is the fifth Final Fantasy, but can four people really fit on the back of one chocobo? I mean, anyway, well, let's not think about that. Let's not think about weight distribution and all that stuff, and all the things that would actually make it impossible for Boko to carry 3 or 4 adults on its back. A new cave. All right. That's a good chocobo. Okay, so now I think is when we actually have our first encounters, random encounters. In this little cave here. Hey, look, a spring. Let's just do a quick refill on our HP. Okay, let us proceed forward. And we'll just do some auto-attacking. So... what was I going to say? Oh, so... going back to, the releasing of the game, and, the question always arises, well, why didn't Squaresoft release the game in North America back in, 92? Well, there was a timing thing, right? Final Fantasy IV had only been released in the US the year before. I think it was even, like, less than 6, 8, 10 months. It was less than a year that it had been released, I believe. Anyway, maybe more than a year, but anyway, Final Fantasy IV was, I think, 91 in the US, which came out as 2, of course. And so, let's go ahead and equip this. There was a timing thing, and also, since the Super Nintendo was new in the US, gamers were, console gamers were still like getting the feel for the Super Nintendo. And in 1991, I believe that the Sega Genesis was outselling the Super Nintendo by like a ratio of almost 2 to 1 or more than 2 to 1. It was crazy. The Sega Genesis, or Sega, the company, was kind of king in the US in the early few years, or like in the early years of the 90s. And so that may have been part of it, or a major contributing factor. I don't know. But but Squaresoft, they thought that they saw the sales of Final Fantasy IV as kind of a failure. That either I can't remember what what their reasoning was, like, oh, excuse me, North America players they aren't ready for Final Fantasy V. They aren't ready for these JRPGs that have been successful in Japan. And let's see, where are we on our health? We're good. We're good. Pirate hideout. All right. So we just saw the pirate ship, of course, sail without wind. How is it doing that? And now we're gonna have a discussion about hijacking a pirate ship. Oh, Lenna. So innocent and naive. Yeah. Oh. Bold move, Galuf. I mean, he did just ride a meteor to this world, but we don't know that yet. Anyway, let's get on the ship and try to steal it. And so yeah, so there were some things, you know, that caused SquareSoft to all combine together. They decided, oh, let's not, you know, we didn't release 2 or 3, let's not release 5. And then there was even a special version, like Final Fantasy version. I can't even remember the name of it or the platform it came out. But I think Squaresoft made it specifically for North American players because they thought we weren't ready for JRPGs. Anyway, so we're having trouble casting off the ship. What is going on here? Hey, who's that? Must be the ship's captain. Enter Captain Faris. A fearsome pirate captain. A lot of brass. Wait, I'm a princess. Oh, Lenna. So sweet. Or, well, yeah, sure, you are sweet, but... Shocked that she's royalty. A formal request from the Kingdom of Tycoon. Oh dear. Princess of Tycoon, here on my ship. Tasty sum for this one. And we will find out that Barris is through and through, or at the core, definitely a pirate. But that she has a heart of gold. What is that? All right, into the brig. That's better than over the edge, off the plank, right? Yes, it is. Whose genius idea? And he just hops away, hiding in the corner. Oh no, I can't remember. Uh-huh, yep. Well said, Bartz. And then switch the subject, of course, because we don't want to further call out Galuf. No need to do that. We're all tied up. Ah, there's the question. And we discover that she's just trying to find out what happened to dear old Dad. And yep, there's the rest. Alright, so we wait a second until pans over to Faris, who has a little bit of a monologue, reflection on what just happened. Yeah, why does the Princess of Tycoon have the same pendant as I do? Alright, here we go, off to the Wind Shrine. One thing I truly appreciate, going back to the translation and the dialogue, I do really appreciate the dialogue. This translation I feel is done very well, and I've heard some criticize and complain about like the contrast, or the maybe not contrast, but the conflict between, you know, the heaviness of the story and there's too much comic relief. There's not enough character development as reflected in the dialogue, but you know what, whatever. Games will have their critics. All right, we're off. But what I want to say is I feel that while this game may not have the same level of character development as some of the, later Final Fantasies, um, which we know maybe a little bit better, right? Where there is heavy or deep character development. Um, but these characters that we play along with, I don't know. I don't see that there's necessarily anything about some of the lightness that they throw in here in the dialogue that takes away from that. But that's just me. And here we meet Sildra, our favorite sea creature. Here she comes. Oh. Lenna's a little bit surprised and shocked. Sildra and I were raised together. We're as close as siblings. Who raised you and Sildra as siblings? That's what I want to know. Must have been whoever the previous pirate captain, queen, or king was. Anyway, so Faris and Sildra are very close. All right, we're off. Okay. Let's go up here and wait for him to ask us if we want to go to the Women's Shrine. We're going to say no, of course, because we want to ride our own boat or control our own boat. We're going to head over to Tool. Wait for all the pirates to invade the pub. Wait for me. Alright, see you, Faris. Alright, let's go around town, talk to people. Okay, we've got 3 chests, 8 items. Alright, let's get them. Well, it's not going to be arriving anymore. Sorry, sir. I will be careful. I guess they're in season. Is there some meteorite season, sir, that you know about that we don't? Okay, I believe there's one over here. I think I remember where all of the stuff is. I think. Alright, let's go in the pub real quick. I don't think there's anything in these barrels. No. Let's talk to this guy. If you look real close, you're a fetching lass, Lenna. I'm not sure if I would take that as a compliment or not. I mean, you do have an eye patch, so you might have impaired vision. But anyway, we'll just take it at face value and say thank you. So dreamy, the captain. Well, at least they gave you some good business, eh? Hey, don't you worry about a thing. And there's this guy in the corner. Yeah. Alright, let's take a seat here and watch the little dancers. Ooh, something special. Hello, ladies. Alright, well, what we really wanted was for them to get out of the way so we could get up here to the piano. Yes, we want to play the piano because we are going to become a piano maestro. Alright, way to go. Alright, let's go upstairs and check on Faris. And here we go. Really quiet now. Oh, and Faris turned to the side, revealing... Could it be? Well, of course, we know that Faris is actually a woman. Faris is the pirate queen of the pirates. But Bartz and Galuf, they don't know that yet. Neither does Lenna. And so Galuf has to go in and see what is Bart's goofy reaction all about. Galuf, whoa! Just gorgeous, a beauty for the ages. So, man or woman, Faris is indeed beautiful. I love how they put Great Caesar's ghost. Like, who? I don't know. There's a lot of, the dialogue. It's like, how did that end up being the English translation? Because I'm pretty sure even in the Japanese version, I don't know, maybe I don't know like Japanese well enough to understand all of the like Japanese text, but is that really what it translates to? Great Caesar's ghost. Anyway, whatever. We'll get over that. Yeah, what are you two going on about? But I mean, it just goes to show, right, that that whether it's the right, the close to the literal translation or not, it goes to show the, you know, um, the attention that they took to kind of colloquially, wow, I can't say the word, colloquializing, um, a lot of the dialogue so that, like me as a North American player, um, it feels like, the people are talking on, my level or at not my level, but kind of with the same lingo that I have. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, it's just really well done. Okay, so Faris kicks us out, asking what on earth is our problem, and we're like, well, Faris, we were smitten by your beautiful face as you were sleeping so peacefully. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, and let's see. Let's go ahead and sure. I love this. Yeah, close your eyes, even though it's literally 8 feet to the west or to the left. Well, thanks, sir. Couldn't have found it without you. Yes, I am very new. Please let me in so that I can loot your stuff. Okay, so of course, just like all the other Final Fantasies, you have like a tutorial, little tutorial NPCs that give you hints and stuff about enemies, fighting strategies, that kind of stuff. And oh, it comes in and shows us. Okay, didn't really need to see that. Because now we have to wait until it goes through the tutorial. And then aging. Yeah, aging's not fun. If a battle goes too long with your character aged. No, we don't need the explanation of it. Oh, I think I will. Tents are actually quite useful in this game, at least for me. Let's see, yeah, before Final Fantasy V, I don't think I used tents much. White numbers indicate damage taken. Green ones are hit points that have been regained. Yep, thank you. Oh, a present. Monsters? It's just a goblin. Anyway, this is of course just to show the feature that sometimes in the treasure chest there's gonna be a monster before you can get the treasure inside. Wait mode, very important wait mode. Yes, because I'm not super fast at menuing. Sometimes I open the menu so I can make the decision I want. Since I don't have a in-depth knowledge enough of this game to just make all of my decisions split second in battle. I know what strategies I want to use. No, I know they are. Like two-handed, I think, steel, maybe blue magic. But anyway, things that we don't need a tutorial on. Hello, sir. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Well, you have fun. Great snakes. Kind of seems like the wind's died down some. Yep, it has. Alright, we don't need to go into the weapons or armor shop at this time. Let me think. Yeah, we don't need to get anything there. Kingdom of Walls is to the east, and they have prospered because of the water crystal. Good to know. Alright, we can't buy magic yet because we don't have jarbs. We will later. Oh, hello. What are you doing over here all by yourself? The beast in the canal only seems to target women. Alright. Let's see. We have all chests and 2 items left. Okay, good. He built the Torna Canal. And as we will see, the Torna Canal is pretty large. So the undertaking is quite impressive. So he's not here. We'll come back. But what we need to do is come up here for a couple items. The important Phoenix Down. Hopefully we won't need to actually use too many of these during the game to revive people, but inevitably you always do need them eventually. There's always some RNG, always some bad luck that'll take a few of you down. Alrighty, I think this is a good... Oh, that's right, Faris. Faris won't let us slip away. Okay, so I think this is a good breaking point for our first episode. And so, yeah, a lot of cutscenes, a lot of exposition, just a lot of getting started stuff. So in our next episode, what we will do is we'll go up to the Wind Shrine, we'll investigate, and then, yeah, we'll carry on our adventure. So let's just go back up to file 1. We'll just overwrite everything. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so until our next episode, so long for now.